will note that I received from the Department of Health and Welfare just today 2 letters from a treating physician, Dr. Kuntz. Those letters have some detail, but in the court's estimation would not rise to the level of being a progress report as required under Idaho Code 18. I wouldn't consider them a progress report. I think we need a progress report before an order extending the commitment would be entered. So I was just asking, does the state agree that before extension of a commitment, we would need to see the progress report to satisfy the statute?
Yes, the state does agree.
All right, Mr. Means, Mr. Archibald, do you also wish to have a progress report in hand before the determination on a extension of the commitment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I don't think we could test the idea of continued commitment, but a progress report, I think, would assist with the matter for all parties.
Big day out in Idaho for the so-called Doomsday Mom, Lori Vallow Daybell. As you know, she's been charged with the various crimes, including murder, and has been deemed not competent to stand trial. And today was sort of an update on all of that. What's her mental status? Will she be able to go to trial, and if so, when? Well, the judge got the letters from the experts and rendered this decision today.
Mr. Means, Mr. Archibald, available at 1:30 on the 8th for a status conference?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very well. So the court will order that the commitment under 18212 be extended temporarily until that time. I'll follow up with Department of Health and Welfare, and if counsel thinks it's helpful for you to do the same, to get a progress report submitted prior to the hearing, we'll do that, and we'll hold further proceedings then on that time. All right, I think that concludes the issue we need to cover for this case for this afternoon. Anything else on the case 1624 this afternoon, Mr. Wood?
Not from the state.
All right, thank you. Anything else, Mr. Means or Mr. Archibald?
No, Your Honor.
No, thank you.
All right, thanks for your attendance, everyone. We'll go ahead and log off, and then I'll talk to counsel post-hearing.
Relatively quick hearing today. Let's bring back to the think tank. And right now, I just want to deal with one little tiny issue here for the folks at home and for everyone else. Brian, I'll let you handle this one, and then we'll get to the meat of what I want to talk about here. Competency, okay? What's the timeline on all of this, right? She's still not competent now, so what's the timeline? How does that work?
Well, and at the end of the day, then she may never be. You know, the more egregious the facts, the more serious the crime, the more we need to look to determine whether or not this or any other defendant is able to assist counsel in defending himself or herself, and that they have a rational and factual understanding.
Let me ask you this.
What's going on.
Because you said maybe never. So she could spend the rest of her life locked up waiting to become competent to stand trial?
No question. We see that all the time. And of course, judges don't necessarily think that that's the final way to end a case of this magnitude. They have almost unlimited discretion. But again, at the end of the day, when we're dealing with facts like this and the gravity of the situation, there's a process in place and it needs to be complied with.
All right. Carmen and Casey, get ready now. A reporter from CBS's 48 Hours show gathered together Chad Daybell's 5 children to talk about their father and the murder charges against him. Here's how they responded when asked about how the bodies of Lori Vallow's children, Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow, ended up in Chad Daybell's backyard buried.
Did your father, Chad Daybell, play any role in killing JJ and Tylee?
No. It's completely unthinkable.
How is it possible 2 children are found buried in your father's backyard and he had nothing to do with it?
He was framed.
That word pops up a lot here on Court TV, Casey. And I'm not blaming the children. I've covered so many trials. Adult children, doesn't matter who they are, they don't want to believe their parents a killer. framed. Could that be the defense here? That pointing the finger and saying he was specifically framed by somebody? Is that the only defense that he has?
That's not the only defense, but that's one of the strongest defense that Mr. Daybell has. And in my opinion, going back to Lori, once her competency is restored, then obviously she'll go to trial. But until that time, if I was defending Mr. Daybell, number one, I would file a motion for a demand for speedy. I know that speedy was waived. However, he can use this to his advantage. Motion to sever the case, blame everything on Lori. She's the one that has her mental capacity questioned. So it's possible that Lori, had some, she had involvement in this. And on top of that, he has his 5 children backing him, stated that the father didn't have anything to do with this. So I would definitely utilize Lori's incompetency until it's restored to my advantage.
Interesting. Carmen Rowe, how many defendants have you represented who were framed?
I was going to say, Vinny, whenever you have 2 people, you got one finger pointed at each one. That's very, very common. But it's a risky defensive theory in this case.
But Carmen, it's one thing to say somebody else did it, but here somebody else did it and wants me to go to prison or go to the death chamber for doing it. That's what what a frame job is here.
Well, and I think the mental health issues here are significant enough that I might even buy into that, given some of the things that we've seen in the 2,500 emails that we see going back and forth. But I guess my problem is that I can't believe for one second that these kids found their way into the backyard, that Lori did it by herself and that he didn't notice.
Well, I
think that's something.
She would have had help from her brother, Alex Cox, the one who died on the toilet.
There's too many people with too many stories, too many dead bodies in this case to even follow it all through. But again, their hiatus to Hawaii, all of the cover-up information, I think they're going to have a lot of trouble no matter what happens. And they did waive their speedy trial. It doesn't sound like Chad's going to go to trial until next year. But I do agree that I don't think that inures to his benefit. I think the longer we have with this case, the easier it is to put together a very complicated story involving way too many people that have died, including these 2 poor children, and that they were found in his backyard. The longer the state has with this case, the better it's going to get for them and the worse for the defense, I think.
All right, and that's a good thing. Let's take a look at the schedule here. Ohio versus Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell, status conference for Lori, as we heard, September 8th. They'll update where she is mentally. Then a pretrial hearing for Chad Daybell on September 30th. Still has a trial date of November 8th, but as everyone has rightly pointed out, they have recently waived the right to a speedy trial. So we're wondering whether that November 8th is a real date, but maybe we'll find out on the 30th of September.